are 95% subconscious thoughts. Only 5% of your thoughts are actually operating on surface level. So if your thoughts, your 5% are not working for you, or if they're thoughts of doubt, or what you're not, or that you don't like yourself, or whatever it is, like that's just the top layer. That's not the subconscious. And all of our actions that we operate on are typically our subconscious, that we're not even thinking about. That's just like when you're like, shoot, I know what to do, right? That's what I hear a lot. I know what to do. I don't know why I don't do it. That's our subconscious behaviors acting out. And so the good news is that's not your fault. That's not you. So shame, guilt, regret, you can let that all go. Because what happens was from the moment we were all born with the exact same amazing brain, the exact same potential. But what happens is that our environment and who we were raised by, our parents, whether you had really positive parents or really negative parents, that unfortunately by the age of 5 is what shaped you, right? We're like little sponges until 5. So what we learned, positive or negative, is not registered as right or wrong in our brain. It is just our truth, because that's what we learned. And so there's a lot of unlearning that most adults have to do based on what we know. We don't know that we don't know until we discover it. And so I like to think about an exercise that I like to do with a lot of people. Caitlin, who's in our online group, she started thinking about her thoughts and how they didn't line up with the truth that she wanted to believe, her values, her faith, her goals. And so as she went throughout her day, she would actually take out a journal and she'd write down any thoughts that she had to capture that didn't line up with her goals. And so I want you to practice that, and you can write that down too, is if you want to do a really good exercise, because you don't know what you don't know, is write down your thoughts throughout the day. Like instead of, like a lot of people are write down what they eat or write down their other habits, I want you to write down the thoughts that you have throughout the day. And any thought that you have that doesn't line up with who you are or your goals or who you want to be, then you immediately scratch it out. You can literally mentally pretend like you're erasing it from your brain and rewriting a new affirmation that matches who you are, your identity, who you want to be, okay? And then we have to practice that over and over and over and over and over, because by the time you were 5 years old, psychologists say that you have heard the word no or you can't over 48,000 times. So imagine all the rewriting that we have to do. And that's just practice. And so think about how many times, if you've never worked out in your life, I love using this example, if you've never worked out in your life and you come in and you're like, shoot, I'm 45 and I've never worked out a day in my life. Well, think about how many reps we have to do before you get really good at something. Now, if we put that amount of energy into our mindset, even more than we did into our physical body, that we would really be making progress, okay? So I want you to always think about what you're thinking about and practice getting rid of stinking thinking. And if you need more lessons on your stinking thinking, Joyce Meyer is an excellent source she actually has a message on stinking thinking. But we really want to rewire your brain, and that is, again, the good news. The good news is you actually are in total control of your thoughts. And I want you to write that down also. I am in control of my thoughts. So if you don't like what you're thinking, you have the ability to change your thoughts. It does take work, but if the one thing that you achieved in 2024 was that you were able to overcome your negative thinking about yourself, and you actually turned that around and you started liking yourself, and your thoughts started saying nice things to you, that would be an incredible year. Because not only does that impact you, but it impacts who's around us. So whatever you feel about yourself is coming off of you. Whatever you say about yourself is projecting onto others. A lot of times I'll even catch people saying it out loud in front of their kids. And that is not, again, that's probably how you were hardwired, and that's probably how your parents talked about themselves, unfortunately. But we can change that, and we can turn that around, and we can speak kind about ourselves. And if you learn how to master that, it's amazing what your body and reflection will do inside out, right? It really does dictate all of your actions. So then we go back to actions after we have our minds right with the right thoughts. We go back to actions, and this is where we make goal setting really simple and fun. And this is where I'm going to give you some time. So you have your goal. You have one goal, maybe you have 5 goals written out now. I'm going to give you a couple minutes. I want you to write under each goal, I want you to write down 3 obstacles that typically pop up, because this goal is probably not brand new. It might be a brand new thing for this year, but a lot of times the goals that we have are things that we've wanted to go after for a while, and you're just now building up that bravery to go after it. I want you to write up 3 obstacles that you can imagine popping up when you're going after this goal. Take a couple minutes. Okay, so obstacles are anything that's going to get in your way. What's an example? I'm always going to bring it back to health and fitness because that's just the easiest. So, an obstacle. If your goal is, I'm going to master my energy in 2024. My obstacle is I get really low on energy every afternoon at 3 p.m. Well, what is actually the obstacle for why I get so low on energy every day at 3 p.m.? It's because I'm not eating enough. It's because I'm not drinking enough water. It's because I need to set, no, that's an action step, sorry. It's most of the time those 2 things. So I'm only going to have 2 obstacles. It's because I'm not drinking enough water. It's because I'm not eating enough. Okay, well, an action step then to that obstacle is what we're going to do next. So after you wrote down your obstacles, I actually want you to put as many action steps as you need underneath that obstacle. So my obstacle is lack of energy at 3 p.m. So my action step then is to set an alarm to make sure I've drank enough water. I don't care if I've been practicing drinking water for 20 years. If I still have a problem with it, I still have not overcome it. Okay? So I'm going to set an alarm for 3 p.m. If I get really down on myself at that time, or I feel like I need somebody to pump me up, I'm going to listen to self-talk for 10 minutes. Or I'm going to get out my Prayers That Avail Much book. This book is awesome. Actually, Abby's here now. She gifted me this book. I'm going to get out this book, and I'm going to read a prayer. I'm going to get fired up. I'm going to take responsibility, and I'm taking control of my own thoughts, which are going to lead to me taking responsibility for my own actions. Those are action steps that I'm going to use to overcome that obstacle. And it sounds so simple. It sounds like, how the heck is a giant goal break down to such a tiny little action step? Because your minutes matter, right? During the day, it does matter. And then with the action step, I want you to write a date next to it. So obviously, if it's something like every single day I need to achieve this one thing, then I'm gonna write it's a daily thing. But if it's an action step, like I work with a lot of women that actually they call me and they say they really want to lose weight, but what actually they want to do is organize their house. It's actually it's a really common thing that I hear. It actually comes down to the clutter in their closet, or that their kitchen drives them crazy, or it's wild that it actually, like, what they always call me for is they think they need to change their body, but what they actually want to change is their relationship or their house or their job, right? It's amazing. But so having a date with the action step of I am going to clear out my closet by March 1st, okay? That's achieving that goal and then moving past it. One thing that I really love to remind people is that, of course, that's what the nature of what we do. People call, again, or want to work with us because they want to get fit. Or when they set goals, like why I love not doing resolutions, instead we do goals, is because you will hear me say this a million times. Your purpose of your life is not to just be healthy. Like, that is not your purpose. And so looking at your heart's natural desires is a great way to find your goals, your purpose, and then setting goals based on your purpose. Health and fitness can be in there because it is what allows you to feel great and do a lot of things without worrying about not thinking about your body. I love not thinking about my body. I love not thinking about how I feel every single day. But that's not my purpose. My purpose is not to be fit. My purpose is to be in people's lives and help people learn how to use their mindset correctly. That's my purpose. So if your goals every single year is just to be healthy and fit, I want you to actually look at your God-given purpose and align some goals up that will give you a bigger reason why, so that you're not just constantly going, why can't I stick with this? Why can't I stick with this? Because that's not really your total purpose. And I've recently been studying a little bit more on the psychology of anxiety and depression. And if you feel like you're constantly anxious or depressed or you're not sleeping good, I really want you to look at the other things in your life. Of course, you're taking care of yourself and you're taking care of your health and your fitness, and that does improve all of those things. But look at your career, look at your home, look at your clutter, look at your relationships, and really give yourself a good, honest look at your place in that, your thoughts on that, and it can actually clear up a lot of those things, okay? All right, so how do you feel about goal setting? That was a lot of information very quickly, in less than 20 minutes. But, so I'm going to review it really quick. Writing down for every single goal, that is going to be the exact same technique. You can use that over and over. I do want you to write down your goals and affirmations as if they already exist. So, I would say, but when I wrote this when I started doing goal setting just like this, I would say, I am an amazing personal trainer. I am an awesome life coach. I am a great mom. This was before I had kids. This was before I was a trainer. I want you to write down in your goal, and I am a great competitor. I always PR, right? I'm writing those things down as if they always were, or they already are. And then I'm going to give, in our PDF, I also sent out, and if you didn't get this by email, I'm happy to give it to you, or send it to you, but I actually put a 31-day January consistency checkoff tracker, and that is not a habits checkoff. I want you to actually write down and rewrite your goal every morning. That is what I want you to do every morning for January, is to wake up and rewrite your goal. That's it. That's the whole goal. For 31 days is to write down your 2024 goal. And even if it's 10 things, make it in an I am affirmation, and maybe you're just writing down the I am affirmation. I am fit, I am healthy, I am strong. Whatever that goal is for 2024, you're writing down your goal every single day. I know that that's something that you can absolutely do, right? That is achievable goal, is to write down your goal every day. An encouragement analogy that I like to give is that imagine you're getting on a plane. We're all going to go to Hawaii right now. So we're leaving PDX, and we're all going to arrive in Kauai. That's actually one of my goals this year. But when we get on the plane, and we just trust the plane. The plane is going to arrive at the Kauai airport. But the actual fact is that the plane, when it's in the air, because of all the different things that are happening up in the sky, that plane is actually rarely ever en route. Rarely ever en route. They actually say that it's like less than 10% of the time that it's actually on course. So if you feel like you are having a hard time staying on course every single day, it is daily navigation and rerouting on course. And I want you to think about that as encouragement. You're still going to land at the destination. You just have to think about how you're just like the pilot, just constantly just resetting the route. Okay, so every day you wake up, you reset that route. It's okay that you got a little bit off. Reset the route. And then it will get you there without you feeling like it's all or nothing. It's not failure or not failure. It's just rerouting and learning about yourself, right? Because in a process of achieving goals, you are constantly learning about yourself. If you don't like your everyday action steps, then it is something that you need to adjust and say, it's okay. Okay, I'm going to do it better. I'm going to do it different. But if you keep doing the same thing, what's the quote? Keep doing the same thing, you're going to get the same result. And that's the definition of insanity, right? And so if you feel like I have to ask myself that too. That's a hard question to ask. Why, when I ask myself if I'm doing the same thing as I did last year, if I don't like it, that's a hard question for me to ask myself, because I want to like what I do, right? And we have to just, look a little bit deeper. But that's also what life coaching is. That's what I do on the phone with people all week long. That's what I'm doing when I'm not here, is asking questions that you are not thinking about, that are bringing up things that are in our head that we don't know that we know yet. And that's what we want to do. One thing that I have had people ask is that some people say, well, I don't even have goals. And that's okay. Again, I don't want you to feel like you have to have these massive goals to be able to start goal setting. But a great way to discover what some great goals would be is about 12 years ago, I have a mentor in Southern California named Todd Durkin. He's an NFL coach. He challenged me to write my life backwards, and it is a really fun exercise to actually discover more goals. He said, write how long you're going to live down. That sounds a little bit morbid, but you do it. So if you want a fun exercise that you could even do with your family or a bestie, write your life backwards in a story. And it took me about 3 pages, maybe 15 minutes. But I want to live to 104. My great-grandma lived to 104. I would like to do that also. But I took that age, and then I wrote down what I wanted to do in my life. And when you're looking at it in chunks of decades, it goes by pretty stinking fast, right? And so, but it's also exciting. There are a lot of people, and a lot of the most amazing, we'd say, influential people, didn't actually even start doing anything amazing until they were 50, 60, 70, right? But it's fun to write your life backwards and go, oh shoot, if I want to have this life when I'm in my 80s, it looks like my life needs to look like this in my 70s, and my life needs to look like this in my 60s. If I want to be able, so it kind of helps you have a good vision of what you want to do every decade, and it breaks it all the way down to what your daily life needs to be like now. And so maybe that is your goal, is just what your daily life needs to look like now. That's how we make goals simple and achievable, though, is breaking it all the way down to your actions today. So taking your goal, aligning them with your thoughts, having all the feelings, and know that your feelings can be positive, negative, neutral. We want to make your thoughts not necessarily have to be positive, negative, or neutral, but align with your goal, with the ability to succeed. And that's, again, why we say, I believe in my ability to succeed over and over and over, because it doesn't matter what goal you set, you absolutely can achieve it. It's just making sure your thoughts align with your action steps. And so making it simple and achievable is absolutely possible. You just got to break it all the way down to the day, to the minute, and reroute every day. Right? Sound good? Okay. Did you write that all down? All right. Do you have any questions? Does anyone want to share their 2024 goal? Anyone?
Organize my bedroom.
Oh. There you go.
Work out in my bedroom if I want to.
Yes. I love organizing. One of mine is to paint my office wall. We're not earth-shattering. I'm not Mother Teresa for that. I just know how that's going to make me feel. I'm going to love that space more, and that's a simple goal that I can put an action step with and a date to achieve it, and it's going to feel great rather than sitting there and staying the same. Anyone else? I'm looking for 5 people to tell me their 2024 goal.
Being consistent.
Awesome. What does that look like?
Well, looking out consistently and planning consistently and staying on track with those.
Love it.
Drinking the water, just all the things that kind of make your body feel better so you perform better during the day, and not just giving up because it's easier sometimes.
Yeah.
Your shirt looks good.
Okay, love it. All right, so but then that is, which is awesome, is that that's all action steps. That's all habits. So how does it make you feel to be able to stay consistent?
It would make me feel successful.
Love it. And so remembering that feeling and having that thought, I am successful, I am able to be consistent every single day, will overcome those thoughts of that beer looks good, right? I would rather be successful, I would rather feel really good because I can succeed and I can achieve this than that short temporary thing, right? Okay, who else?
Change your relationship with food.
Awesome. That's amazing. So changing your relationship with food. That's something that why I got into self-talk. I listened to self-talk on that subject actually for a year, morning and afternoon, because my thoughts were negative towards food. And I now completely know that food works for me. It is for my good, and I say thoughts like that. So with your relationship with food, that's going to all come down to your thoughts. That has actually very little to do with your habits, has very little to do with the perfect nutrition plan. There are a million people that are 600 pounds overweight. That's a little bit exaggeration. But that have the perfect nutrition plan and know exactly what to do. But it's this that we're missing, right? And so getting your thoughts in alignment with a healthy relationship with food, and which will benefit everything, is so awesome. I'd love to talk to you more about that. Okay, cool. All right, who else?
Setting boundaries.
Setting boundaries, yes. Ooh, couple good books. There's a good book called Setting Boundaries and Goodbyes. What is it? Tell me. Lisa. Good Boundaries and Goodbyes.
Yes.
Ooh, read it.
Good.
Oh,
Yes.
so good. And if you have a hard time with, one of my books that helped me the most was Boundaries for Kids. That's one I needed. But it's really good. Anyways, okay, setting boundaries would be obviously the obstacles that you have around setting boundaries. Like that would be the question then would be, what holds you back right now from setting better boundaries? Right?
Feeling like I'm being mean.
Ooh, okay. Yeah,
That's my biggest struggle.
okay. When you're not. You're not.
I know,
being
but
mean.
like I'm like, oh, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Because I need my space, or I need to, and then I'm like, oh, I'm being so mean.
Yeah.
I'm not
Okay.
giving them all of my energy.
So my challenge to you then is to I want you to write down like 10 affirmations of exactly why it is taking care of you to have boundaries. So that when those thoughts pop up that somebody's trying to give you FOMO or guilt, that you immediately are like, no, that I have this, I am this, right? Okay, love it. Other goals. Yes.
Make more money.
There you go. I love it. Okay, I love money. We actually should talk about money. Let's do this. Okay, Nicole said make more money. Money is also something that people have so many limited beliefs on. People are afraid of money because of how they were raised. I actually have done a lot of work with myself with money because I was raised with parents that every third sentence was I am broke. And I refuse to pass that on to my kids. I love talking about money. Money is given to us. It flows through us. I believe God gives us it and it flows through us. That is all it is. It is just a transaction and it is not more than that. It is for our good, to be used for our good and to be given out to others. When you say make more money, I love setting obviously what that is, setting how many people that is that you have to help, and then creating writing down the obstacles that you've had with it, and then action steps. That's an easy one. One of my favorite money queens is Amanda Francis. I love her to death. She just talks to you exactly how it is about money and really helps you with any limited beliefs that you have about money. Money is a big deal. It is something, unfortunately, that destroys a lot of relationships, but it, again, is good. It's good to have communication about it. I would challenge so many people's beliefs on money because, again, money is around us. It's an abundance. Why do some people have it easy and some people don't? I do believe that it is a poor dad, rich dad mentality for most people. Obviously, being a business owner, I face the conversation of money a lot, and I don't talk to people about this. I don't get into their money problems when they say they can't afford working with me. But you would be not surprised that people tell me that money is their number one reason why they can't get healthy all the time, which I know is a total limited belief system because they have nails, lashes, cool outfits, right? It is a limited belief that they don't believe that they're worth the investment. That is what it is, right? And so I would, again, happy to have money conversations. I love it. It works for you, just like food. It is given to us for our good. We want to use it for our good. Okay? Awesome goal. Thank you, Nicole. Anybody else? Last one.
I've got two.
Okay.
One's kind of like that one, but
Love
it's
it.
being a good steward of my money. So that's
Good
the
one.
goal for me this year. And the other one is to get control of my alcohol consumption. I have been saying that all year.
Okay.
And I have not been successful in
Okay.
that.
Well, that's a good thing to set goals about. I love both of those. Both of those are big topics. I wanted to say this will be my last thing, and we're still good on time. Both those things are really amazing goals to set, to look at the feelings that you have behind them, right? Because money holds a lot of feelings behind it because of our subconscious. Alcohol holds a lot of feelings behind it because our culture is so celebratory, alcohol focused. And so looking at the feelings that you have behind it and how, if your feelings are, your thoughts or your feelings around money and alcohol serving you, are they working for you? Are they helping you achieve your goals? Are they helping you feel your best? Or are they not working for you? So that is, again, super hard conversations that a lot of times people have to really dig deep, pray about, write out a lot about it. But the good news is, again, with money, it works for you. It is good. It is good to have a plan and to dream a lot bigger than you think with that too. Again, I could go into that, but typically I want you to look at your feelings around money and then your thoughts about money. If we're going to have positive self-talk that we believe in our ability to succeed, like you'll be like, I could do a 5K, right? I could do a 5K, but you couldn't say that same thing about receiving money or making more money, right? Or being able, not drinking, right? I want you to have that same confidence about being able to walk 3 miles as you do with money and alcohol and food. It takes time, right? It's unwiring your brain and rewiring it with the thoughts that work for you. With alcohol, I am actually really excited. Mariana's on with us live. Mariana is someone in our group that she worked out with me online for a whole year and didn't get the progress or the results that she wanted. Actually, none, right? She just was, she was feeling better. She was stronger. She had more muscle. And she had to have the thoughts and feelings, I have got to get my alcohol under control. She was not an alcoholic or anything, and this is why I personally don't promote a sobriety program because I want to help everyone. But we do have people in our group. I'm saying Mariana because she actually would like to lead a group of women that want to have an alcohol-free experience. And so she is going to lead a group in our Fit Plus group of accountability for an alcohol-free January. That's a tip, okay? So it is important to have really, really good support when you're trying to break free of those things. And then but anyways, when she finally when she finally decided to be alcohol free, she had to look at her people, right? We all see those one of you guys posted about your circle. Oh, maybe it was Adrian. Adrian posted about her circle, who you are, who you hang out with. It is hard when you are only hanging out with people that are addicted to food. It is hard when you only hang out with people that drink and they don't know how to have fun without it. But you do have to just have that real talk with yourself and have that real talk with them too, because they do actually want what's best for you. Most people in your family, if they only eat garbage or if they only drink every night, and you came to them and you said, I know I'm not asking you to help or you to stop, but I need your support, I need your help with this. Most of the time they're like, yes, they want you to feel good. Of course they want you to feel good, because when you feel good, they're going to feel better. So they want you to feel good. And if they don't support you doing that, that is not your right friends. Okay? So check out who your friends are, who you hang out with. I do think that would help if you said, hey guys, I'm limiting my alcohol, or I'm not. So if you want to hang out, we're going to go roller skate. We're going to do something fun and alcohol free. But it does exist. It is possible. That's a tough conversation. But I know, I mean, Christine, when you go and you're so active and social, how do you handle food and alcohol?
So it depends on whether or not it's a small friend group or whether or not it's sort of more job focused. If it's job focused and I'm being social because it's part of my job at the moment, then I'll have a tonic with a lime and no gin.
Yeah.
But if I'm with friends, I do think that's harder, because I do think the expectation with friends is if they're going to have a glass of wine, you have a glass of wine. And it's just, I do think that's harder.
Yeah.
Just to be able to just be social in that way when other people kind of aren't. I actually don't have that many people in my personal life that don't have a glass of wine with dinner, or that don't have, that don't have a drink when they're socializing with other people. I think that's like the vast majority of people.
It is. It really is. And it is not, so I love looking at food and alcohol, and I love, it is not good or bad. It is how you want to feel, right? It is not good or bad. It has no value. It does have a macro value, which we can always talk about, but it is not good or bad. It is just if it is worth it or how you want to feel. And I make those choices and I think about those things, but how do you want to feel? How do you want to feel the next day? It is actually, what's awesome about aging, it is becoming less and less attractive to feel like garbage, right? And so that is the good news. Yeah, it is terrible. I hate feeling terrible for a day. I hate being tired for a day. I want to feel great. So we do have that accountability group that we will have for January, and we'll continue on. She continued it on. She was like, hey, we did a video last year, January 2nd together. She had done 1 year of alcohol free. She never intended on doing a year of alcohol free, but she did 30 days. She was like, dang, I feel good. And she was able to go and be social, and she was able to tell her friends, I'm not drinking. She didn't say forever. She just said for a short time. I'm not drinking for a short time. And then she was like, well, I guess I might as well try another month. And then she did another month, and then all of a sudden it was a year, and we did a video, and we shared her testimony, and it was amazing. And she was like, I got so much positive feedback about the impact I had in other people's lives because I was able to give up that one thing, that I'm so motivated to keep it up because of how great my impact is going to be over the next year and the next year. And now she's down 50 pounds from not trying to diet or do anything, but by giving up that one thing. So maybe it's not alcohol, and this is where, but maybe it's what's that one thing? So boundaries, or, money mentalities, or whatever it is. What is that one thing that if you gave it up, you think you're doing it for yourself, but then all of a sudden, as months go by, you're like, holy cow, this is impacting so many people around me. And now I'm motivated because they're so motivated to be around me, and that is my thing that I'm giving them all the time, is showing them that they can too. So I think that is really powerful, and it's not just about alcohol, it's about whatever it is. Like your testimony might be, I have complete food freedom, and I know how to eat, and I know how to go anywhere, and it doesn't bother me. That can be your testimony that you're sharing with other people, and it helps them, right? So it is all about what is, your goal is awesome. Your goal is absolutely worthy of a very good cause. But what is your impact that you can have with that goal? How many people will you teach or help when you achieve your goal? A ton. It's going to be amazing. And everybody has an